Hey everybody, how is everyone doing out there? It's Pam, and this channel has not been updated, I know, for like almost 2 years. Life just got in the way, just been crazy. I really wanted to film a video this past week, but because I was actually home sick with COVID, I tested positive for it a week ago, and then I had to go get a second test to give to my employer in order to get a week off. Company-wide policy is to get a week off from work once you do the PCR test. And that tested positive. But what happened was every afternoon I was just so wiped out, so tired. Like that was like my main symptom, along with being congested. You could probably still hear it in me. My head was very congested, and I developed a mild cough as well. Today's like the first day that I feel like almost back to normal, like 95% normal, and have like my energy back and everything. I return to work tomorrow, and I just wanted to try to make a video, give you guys an update. There's no real like manifestation success story here, except for the fact that I'm going to talk about how I manifested my apartment. So I'm probably going to just call this video how to manifest an apartment, or how I manifested mine. I've been in this apartment now for 18 months. I really love it. I'm happy. Life in general has been very good. I've been very happy. Like nothing earth shattering has happened, but there's been like new friends, and I reconnected with an old friend actually. So that video I made like quite a while ago about the friend that ghosted on me, she actually came back into my life, and so maybe I'll make another video talking about that. But that was like a happy surprise that I'm very grateful for, and I honestly like I think it has to do with my late mom, because this happened a couple months after. Well, it was about 6 or 7 months after my mom passed away. I heard from her out of the blue. So everything's just been going really well. To give you guys an update on the job situation, I no longer work in retail. I was working for Marshalls. I did enjoy it. It had brought so many benefits with it. It got me out of the house. It got me talking to people. I was making a paycheck again. They actually gave me a promotion, and then I was like the coordinator of the men's and kids department. But it was just a very exhausting, physically demanding job, especially for the pay. I think it's no secret that retail really doesn't pay all that well. I was making minimum wage, and then I was got a little raise, and I was making a little bit more than minimum wage. But if I didn't have my freelance writing on the side, I would be like dipping into my savings account every month to pay for rent, no doubt about it. So I did that for like a year. I think I was there for like a year and a half. It was January of this year that I started interviewing at other places. And I'm now working as a receptionist for a company that they have branches across the country, and they're involved in the dental field, the dental industry. They repair dental equipment, and they sell dental supplies. And I really love the people that I work with. I'm very, very lucky. I have really great managers there that I get along well with. And I'm just doing that. I'm doing that. We'll see what happens down the road. But for now, I'm very happy. It's very close to home as well. So I have like a super easy commute. And they're very generous with PTO. And so that part is doing great. I mean, I probably could make a video talking how I manifested that, but to be honest, like again, it came at a time when everyone was looking for people to fill positions. And what retail gave me was it gave me like skills again, like that transferable skills that I could put on my resume. While I was there at Marshalls too, I also learned how to do the cash office, and that was great. That kind of showed people, I'm good with like responsibility and detail oriented. I mean, I've worked in offices like way back in the day. So, but after being unemployed for so long, taking care of my mom, I needed like a gateway job to show like I had like more recent work experience. And for that, like I'm extremely grateful to retail. But anyway, we're going to talk today about how I manifested my apartment. If we can even call it that. I think really a lot of it was just timing, right place at the right time. But when guys first left you, that last video I made about 2 years ago, I didn't know where I was going to be living. I did go and I got qualified for a mortgage because I was working in retail at that point, and they could see, that I had some money saved up as well, and I did have a job. I did have some kind of income coming in. So I got approved for a mortgage. The problem was this was when the real estate market was starting to get insane and very competitive. And I just couldn't find anything for my price range that I would have felt comfortable buying and having a mortgage for it. I remember I went to look at this one place, and I must have been my late mom, because I had this feeling like, don't bother, just don't go. And it was a condo, and the complex was just hideous. It was just very noisy. You could hear the people above you, the floors cracking, creaking, kids running around wild in the common areas, the yard and stuff. No place to park. And it was just, the building itself looked like it was like falling apart. It was terrible. Um, Hallways and everything reeked of like cigarette smoke. It was just a disaster. And I was like, at that point, I was like, if I can find a place to rent, I'll be happy with a place to rent. I kind of just put that out in the universe. I didn't have to buy a place. The main thing was it needed to be a place that I could bring my cat. I had three cats at the time. They were really like my mom's cats and mine. Two of them did get rehomed. Thank God, one of my mom's friends, it was like the perfect situation for her. And she took two of them, and I kept one. And so the main thing was I needed to find a place to live that would allow cats. And that was really challenging because so many places I'd go and it would look perfect online and it would say like no pets. So I just kind of like, the thing that got me through this period of my time was I felt just very, very strong feeling inside of me that everything was going to work out, that I was going to get what I wanted, everything was going to be fine. Just this inner calm, this inner peace. And to this day, I don't know if it was my mom creating it. I kind of feel like it was. I don't know if it was just me and everything I know from the law of attraction and having faith. Maybe a combination of both. But I just had this deep, deep, deep belief every day. Everything was going to be fine. Everything was going to work out. I was going to find like the right place to live. In addition to it allowing cats, it had to be quiet because you hear all these horror stories. And especially after going to that condo complex, which was like horrendous. I'm like, yeah, I could never live in a place like that. I need to have a place where people are, for the most part, like mindful of other tenants and their neighbors, and it's a quiet place. And it had to be, still somewhat affordable. The rents were just starting to go up at that point. This was like Christmas time. This was like late 2020. This was the year my mom passed away. And, rents were starting to go up. But I'm like, I had to have faith, like, well, they can look at what I have in my savings, and my mom's house was going to get put on the market and sold eventually. So it's not like, I didn't have any money. I had money saved up and I was working. Um, so I just had this deep faith, and what I did every day was I searched online every day for apartments. Not just Craigslist, but like every real estate website I could think of, and just anywhere that I could find an apartment. And I tried to do it like every single day. So, and I just wasn't having, like, nothing was happening. I'd reach out, I wouldn't hear back. Who knows if the listing was even legitimate. There was one apartment near me that looked promising, and the guy was like, oh, I'll email you or text you to set up an appointment. And I was like, well, why can't we set up the appointment now? Like, that didn't make any sense to me. And then, like, I didn't hear back. So it sounded like it just didn't really, like, my intuition just kind of told me, it sort of sounds like a scam. So just, you have to be careful. So what happened was, I actually found this place through Facebook Marketplace, and but it wasn't just posted on Facebook Marketplace. It was posted on like another like rental, real estate rental, either apartments.com or something like that. I don't even remember the name of the website because I did a search and I found it there too. And the timing was great. It came up, and here's the thing, guys. It's right in my town, so I didn't even have to switch. My address changed, but I'm still living in my parents' town. It was super close to where I worked in retail, and it's super close now to my current job. And I couldn't believe like the price of the rent. The rent was like, well, first of all, so I did go look at one apartment prior to this. It was a studio, and it so just there alone studio, super super tiny, but I had this fantasy of like putting a lot of furniture in storage, and I'm like, well, I can get furniture that folds up and moves around, and I can make it work. And that was like pulling teeth to kind of get an appointment and to get to view that. It was a place that allowed cats. It was a really, really old house. Probably could have been updated, I think, in a little bit better condition. A friend of mine went with me, and we couldn't even find like the guy that lives there, that he's the maintenance guy, and he lives like actually on the property and takes care of anything that anyone needs. I had to call him, then he wasn't picking up his phone. I had to call him twice. I'm like, oh, hey, I'm here for the appointment. And it was just, it just wasn't like the greatest experience. And he wasn't wearing a mask. My friend and I were wearing a mask. This was like, when COVID was like starting to get like hot and heavy. He wasn't wearing a mask, and I'm like, whatever, we were fine. But my friend called me afterwards, and she goes, it's none of my business because you're the one that's going to be renting, but I felt like that price he wanted was way too high for the amount of space you were getting. I'm like, yeah, I agree. It was a studio. It was literally like one room and then a little bathroom off to the side. I'm like, I'm going to keep looking. Something tells me I can do better. There's got to be something out there for me. So Facebook Marketplace, this apartment I'm in now, this came up, and it was right before Christmas. It was like 2 or 3 weeks before Christmas, and I pounced on it. I emailed the one of the property managers, whose name was listed, and I said, listen, here's the deal with me. Like, I'm not making three times the rent for a salary, but I am working. I'm like, I will show you my pay stubs. I have freelance writing on the side. And I said, and I've got this amount of money in my savings account. And I've even got this amount of money in a 401k. So I said, I'm like, I can prepay you a whole year up ahead if you need that, if you need proof that, like, I can pay for this place. And she was really nice. She was like, hey, you were honest with me, you're upfront, it shouldn't be a problem. So I went to see the apartment it was a Saturday morning. We did a viewing. And she said to me right off the bat, Pam, I can tell like you have your act together, the way you present yourself, you're very professional. She's like, this apartment is yours if you want it. And I'm like, I'm tearing up. Like, I'm tearing up, obviously recollecting the story, but I just had this like deep faith, this deep belief that everything was going to work out, it was going to be fine, and I was like, yes, I want this apartment. I mean, it's beautiful. I've got this big huge living area, number one, and I have my little dining room off to the, like, my dinette set off to the side, and I'm filming this in my bedroom. My bedroom is huge, and it's funny because when I measured I don't think it's really more than 650 square feet of living that I have, and I don't even think that might be included in my bathroom, which is really tiny, and the kitchen. But it's perfect for me. I've got like three closets. I've got a little hallway. And I've been decorating it and little by little buying new furniture here and there and stuff to decorate it with. So, really like that. I really don't even know if this is a manifesting story because I was just lucky. Christmas time is not a time when a lot of people are moving. They're looking to switch addresses, but I pounced on it because I'm in a great town. I'm right down the street from my downtown area, so I can walk. Like if I want to grab takeout or have to run to the pharmacy or whatever, it's literally like less than a 5-minute walk right down the street from here. It couldn't be more perfect. And it is a very quiet building. I mean, occasionally there's been like a few instances with, one neighbor, and then I'm actually I have like a store below me, but he's not there all the time. And then there's another store out front that's actually quite well known in this parts, but that I never hear him, and he's more like underneath my neighbor's area. And then I do have people above me. I think there's two tenants above me, but I never hear footsteps, nothing, just like nothing. It's a very quiet place, thank God. So I don't know what to tell you guys. Anyone that's out there looking for an apartment, just have like, I would say have like a little list for the universe of what's most important to you. And for me, like I needed a place that allowed cats. I needed it to be fairly quiet, and I needed something like still fairly affordable. It's a bonus that it happened to be like in my town and so close to where I work and everything. But yeah, that's like all that I have to tell you. Like, you just really need to have like a deep belief within yourself and keep the faith. And that's it. So I really do hope to be making more videos. I don't know. I actually launched a new blog recently. It's so new, I haven't even made the logo or anything for it. It's actually going to be aimed at women who are 50 and older, addressing like all the stuff that you go through in life when you reach 50, because I turned the big 50 this year. And well, we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. We'll see if I have the time and the dedication to work on it. But I hope to hear from you guys in the comments. I hope everyone's doing well. I might have hopefully I'll have some more videos in the future, but yeah, that's what's going on with me. That's how I manifested this apartment. Hope everyone's doing really well, and maybe I will be talking to you guys again soon. Take care, everyone. Bye.